Ndị be anyị ekeneni m unu. Anyị si ka nke onye chiri ya zelu. Anyị si n'ụbọchị nkịta adịrị na anyị na mma. Anyị chene ya dịka echi na-eche ada agwụ agwụ. Otu anyị kwuru otu akọ ya dịrịrị. Ise anyị dịka o si dịka agbapụ ya ọsọ iwetara ya bụ ihe anyị ji maka ya wee bịa n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nkịta anyị na-akpọ ya morning tea n'iru akwụkwọ. Ihe a bụ gbasara maka the matters arising and discussion United States of Biafra cabinet meeting ya ka eji maka ya wee bịa n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nkịta. So tupu anyị aga n'iru ikwu gbasara maka ya bụ ife, achọkwuru nke ife ha discuss n'iru akwụkwọ gbasara maka the United States of Biafra and the way forward. Ị ga-esi ya bụ ife dropụra ife iche n'ụdị nke gị gbasara maka ya bụ ihe ndị a niile fakwu n'iru akwụkwọ. Alright, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Biafrans and friends of Biafrans. I personally welcome all of you today to this special occasion to remember His Excellency, our Prime Minister, Obatobie Simon Ekpa Njako, on this special day. Today marks a special moment for all of us Biafrans, not just because of where we are, not just because of the declaration of the United States of Biafra, which happened in Finland on November the 29th, 2024. That particular moment was made possible by His Excellency, the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, and our leader, Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu. This is what they wanted. That was what they dreamed for. And that was what Biafrans gave them. On that special day in Lahti, Finland, when over 1,500 Biafrans gathered from all over the world to come together to declare the independence and redeclare the Republic of Biafra before, and was named the United States of Biafra. Our Prime Minister prepared for that day for over 2 years. Our Prime Minister hoped for that day from January of 2024 to November of 2024. Our Prime Minister planned for this special day for the declaration of the sovereignty of the United States of Biafra. And we Biafrans gathered together, not just Biafrans, the friends of Biafrans gathered together on that day to declare the United States of Biafra. Again, before we proceed, I would like someone to lead us in a 2-minute opening prayer for this particular event.
EPM?
Yes.
Thank you. We have someone that will lead us in prayer.
Okay, so you want me to finish then? Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable Anne. So again, I welcome all Biafrans and friends of Biafrans. I want to use this opportunity to welcome all our special guests, all Biafrans from home and abroad, all Biafrans from the 40 states of Biafra, all the secretaries, all the cabinet members, all the state governors in Biafra and their executives, our Biafra Liberation Force, our Biafra Defense Forces. I want to use this opportunity to thank our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, as we mark your birthday today, it is a special moment for all Biafrans. We know you are here with us regardless. Your absence changed nothing. It changed nothing for the march towards the sovereignty of the United States of Biafra. And that is what I tell people. The restoration of the independent state of Biafra is not about any individual. If I am not here today, somebody must continue this journey until we finally protect the 40 states of Biafra. It's not about me. It's not about our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. It's not about our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. It's not about our past heroes like Odumegwu Ojukwu, like Philip Effiong, like Owazulike, all the people that have taken part at different stages to ensure that the restoration of the United States of Biafra as a country that will be one of the best in Africa is restored and is actualized. And I thank them for making the United States of Biafra a reality today as a nation, as an independent nation. We thank you, our Prime Minister. We know you are here with us. We know the instructions you have given, and we are following those instructions step by step. I want to use this opportunity to remember our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu. We all know that he was in the Nigerian terrorist court today, where they are holding him for nothing except for what we all do here. We Biafrans do not want to live or stay in a country where the policy is to reintegrate and rehabilitate non-terrorists into the military and police and security apparatus and send them to those territories, to those cultures that do not believe in terrorism, like in Biafra territory. That is what the Nigerian state does. The Nigerian state rehabilitates and reintegrates Boko Haram, ISWAP, all the non-terrorists into the Nigerian state. That is why Nigeria has been declared as one of the most dangerous countries for Christians to live. That is what Biafrans seek for. We want to live in a country where we will offer the best for our people, in a country where our citizens will be free to worship, to practice their religion without fear of being killed by the terrorists that are brought in by the Nigerian state. That is why we seek for Biafra. We seek a nation where we want to deliver the best healthcare system for our people, the best education for our people. We want to live in a country where our mineral and natural resources are not being milked by foreign countries to use to develop their own country, while our citizens, we die in abject poverty and squalor, and our lands are destroyed by the exploration of these mineral resources without anybody caring about our people. We cannot continue to live in a land rich with milk and honey while our citizens, our people, our indigenous Biafrans die of the basic healthcare services that we offer in developed countries. We offer in diaspora where we live. We want to take those services home to our people. That is all we are asking for, and that is what we have gotten. Our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is being detained today by the Nigerian terrorist state. He's going to 5 years, almost 4 years plus. Our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, was renditioned, was kidnapped from Kenya as the Nigerian terrorist state collude with the Kenyan government to capture and extradite our leader Nnamdi Kanu, who has been lavishing in DSS dungeon of Nigeria till today, as we speak today. Our leader Nnamdi Kanu was in court today. Over 3 competent courts in Nigeria have ruled that the Nigerian state has no reason to detain our leader Nnamdi Kanu. Competent courts have told the Nigerian state to release Nnamdi Kanu and compensate him. The Nigerian state has refused till today, as we speak. The United Nations raised up a committee on extraordinary rendition, and that committee ruled that Nigeria must release Nnamdi Kanu and compensate him. Today, as we speak, Nigeria has refused to do that. Today, he is lavishing in the Nigerian DSS dungeon for nothing. Nothing except for self-determination, which Nigeria is a signatory to that. I'm sorry. So this is the kind of state you have. A country where you have 2 rules, 2 laws that guide the country. You have Sharia in the north, and then the south have the regular law, whereby if you are an indigenous Christian born in the northern part of Nigeria, the Nigerian state, headed by President Tinubu and Christopher Musa, they make you live by the Sharia law. If you refuse to do that, they will stone you to death. All of us are peculiar with the story of Deborah, a Christian that lives in the northern part of Nigeria and was stoned to death because she did not follow the Sharia law. We are tired of living in a country where, because of our belief, we are hunted down, we are killed. The Nigerian state have murdered thousands of indigenous Biafrans just because we want to be Biafrans. Nothing more, nothing else. Nigerian state have instituted, through Christopher Musa, mass massacre of Biafrans cut across all over the place. In Ehamufu, our indigenous Biafrans were murdered. Headbridge, Onisha, our indigenous Biafrans were murdered. Mpo, our indigenous Biafrans were murdered. In Aba, just innocent Biafrans that were marching on the street, unarmed, innocent Biafrans that were marching on the streets, they were murdered in close range, ordered by the Nigerian Defense Chief, Christopher Musa. Innocent Biafrans were mowed down just because they were marching on the street of Aba for the release of our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Nothing more. The killing of Biafrans have been consistent by the Nigerian state. From the Civil War of 1967 to 1970, when millions of Biafrans were murdered, including women, children, that were starved to death. No rule of engagement by the Nigerian state. During that war of 1967 to 1970, innocent Biafrans, innocent children were murdered. They were starved to death on the order of the Nigerian state. All the things that existed between 1967 and 1970, when Biafrans, we decided to end the war so that the inequalities, the marginalization, the terrorism, the killing, the subjugation will stop. But till date, Nigerian state have continued to do the same thing and even more. While the Nigerian state does this, they collaborate with the globalists. They collaborate with some foreign countries in order to clamp down, in order to stop Biafra as a sovereign nation. The promise we have given them, Biafra is already a state. No amount of subjugation, no amount of clampdown, no amount of terrorism will stop a free Biafra, which we already have. As we remember our Prime Minister today, Simon Eber, who is languishing in Finland, where they invited him for interrogation, is almost going to 4 months that the Finnish authorities took away our Prime Minister. And they did that just about a week or two before our declaration in Finland. They have one agenda in conjunction with the Nigerian state to stop the declaration of the United States of Biafra. Nothing more, nothing else. And to continue to milk our resources. That was the reason why our Prime Minister was taken away. Finland is still investigating. They are still collecting their so-called evidences against our Prime Minister Simon Eber. What did our Prime Minister do? Nothing except the same thing millions of Biafrans are doing today. We've conducted a self-referendum where over 50 million Biafrans have voted to exit Nigeria. We have a geographical map and location that is distinct to our people, our culture, and our ethnicity. We are forming alliances with our friends, our allies. We, Biafra, have met all the criteria to be a nation. And that was why we went to Lati, Finland between November 29th and December 3rd, and we declared our independence. No one can take that away from us. America had their independence, and they moved away from another nation. Finland had their independence, and they moved away from another country. So many other countries. Why are we different? What is the difference between Biafra seeking, using the self-determination that is guaranteed by international laws to seek and declare our own independence? What is the difference? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. But because the Nigerian state is a terrorist state, Nigerian state is a state that feels they can continue to milk our resources and give it to foreign countries while our people die every day. That is the reason. But today, I don't want to go into so many things that has made United States of Biafra an independent nation. Today, we remember our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Eber, who was taken away from us by Finland just 1 week before our declaration to stop that declaration. But little did they know, they can never stop a people that are determined. So we remember our Prime Minister today. We remember all the cabinet members, all the secretaries, and I thank you all that are present here today to mark the birthday of our Prime Minister. Thank you so much, Biafrans and friends of Biafrans. On this note, I hand over to the moderator. I thank you so much, our Information Minister.
Ende by Guadalupe and Kunisi, Venezuela, and many Robo, Ubosi Chinketa na Eastern News 24, Baba Siwere Uterunya Bozi, Dika Sipun, Konagin Uterun update. Bostama Kosia, Botu Kosia, the Nebedi Chiche. If you quick Bostama Kabi Fin, no, it was Ubosi Chinketa, drop or I feature no dinkege on the comment section below na Eastern News 24. Kemesia no munem.